Okay, let's bring this video to life. The video starts with a news anchor, an older man with short, graying hair, standing in a television studio. He wears a formal dark gray suit with a subtle pattern, a white shirt, a gray patterned tie, and a pink pocket square. Behind him are several monitors with the word Vancouver displayed above them. He introduces a segment about a man from Richmond who trains in martial arts. The tone is serious and informative, setting the stage for the news story. The scene then shifts to a brightly lit martial arts studio. The walls are light gray, with the phrase, "Winners never quit, quitters never win," written in black above a doorway. The floor is a mix of red and black mats, and benches line the edges. There are several men in the room, most of whom are wearing black t-shirts. The camera focuses on 3 men. 2 are training and 1 is watching. The 2 training are facing each other, wearing black shirts and black training gloves. They practice punches and blocks. One man is taller and has dark hair, and the other man is wearing a black shirt with a white design, and he is the one practicing the punches and blocks. The man that is watching is wearing a black t-shirt and is standing closer to the wall. Later, the camera switches to a man wearing glasses, a light blue-collared shirt, and holding a black microphone. He addresses the audience, stating that they are at the Richmond Martial Arts Club, where different martial art styles like jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and capoeira are taught. He then introduces Johnny Tai, a man who is the subject of the report. Johnny Tai is a young man of around 30 years old. He has short black hair, is wearing a black t-shirt with Richmond MMA written on it, dark pants, and dark sunglasses. He is blind. The camera focuses on him as he practices with other men. His movements are surprisingly skillful. During the training, Johnny is being coached by a man named Alan Galang. Galang is of Asian descent, with short black hair and wearing a black t-shirt. Galang watches intently, offering guidance and instruction. Alan Galang is then interviewed. He explains that when he first met Johnny, he was unsure whether Johnny's involvement was a joke or if he was going to get a good student. But Johnny had a brown belt in Taekwondo and various other arts already. He also mentions that Johnny was never able to compete before. He also explains that his school teaches Krav Maga, which is a practical, street-smart style of self-defense, not a sport-based style of martial arts. The camera cuts back to Johnny, who is being interviewed. He explains that past schools didn't allow him to participate due to his blindness. Johnny says that he's always very careful when training with a partner because he doesn't want to injure them. The camera shifts again to Alan Galang, who says that instead of telling Johnny what to do, he physically walks Johnny through each step. Various training sessions between Johnny and his training partners are then shown, and they include practice with a rubber knife and gun. The news anchor is then shown again, closing the segment with that it may be unlikely that Johnny will ever need to use the techniques for real. The segment concludes with Bob Nixon, CBC News, from Richmond. The overall tone is respectful and inspirational, focusing on Johnny's perseverance and the inclusive nature of the training. The setting is a standard martial arts studio, which adds a sense of authenticity. The sounds include the thud of punches, the rustle of clothes, and the voices of the trainers.
A Richmond man has spent years training in martial arts. He's learned to defend himself and anyone else he may be with. But as Bob Nixon discovered, when he fights, he is going in blind. Literally.
It is another workout for the guys at the Richmond Martial Arts Club. A lot of kicking, punching, physical stuff. They teach mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, capoeira. But the reason why we're here is a guy named Johnny Tai.
Be careful, man. I don't want any trouble.
Good. Back away, Johnny. Back away. Good.
He is 30 years old and blind since the age of 3.
Side choke.
Alan Galang is Tai's coach.
I'll be honest, my first impression was it's either this is a joke or I'm going to get one hell of a ninja coming into my classroom.
What he got was a student who already had a brown belt in Taekwondo, knew karate and other martial arts, but could never compete in tournaments.
None of them allowed me the chance of actual sparring with someone or real combat. Be careful, man.
But not so with a combat style developed by security forces in Israel called Krav Maga.
Krav Maga has always been known as a no-nonsense, straight-to-the-point self-defense system, so it's not a sport martial art.
It is a challenge for instructor and student.
So instead of telling him what to do, we actually have to take his hands and walk him through the technique physically.
I have to be always very careful when I work with my partners. Sometimes I don't want to injure them by accident.
Will he ever be threatened with a gun? Probably not. But for Tai, some skills are worth learning all the same. Bob Nixon, CBC News, Richmond.
I really don't want